Welcome to today's video. I am going to be, I've already done it. Spoilers, I've already done it. I've already done this video. This is the end of the video. We are starting, what's that term? Ooh, in medias res. We're starting in medias res. So I've actually done all of this video, but I'm filming my intro now. So just to let you know what's going on, I am going to be mood reading for over a week. This video went on longer than I was anticipating, but I'm going to be mood reading for over a week, and I'm going to intro and pretend like I was back over a week ago. At the beginning of this video, I was choosing between reading Divine Rivals and The Serpent and the Wings of Night on my Kindle. Basically, I was on the first chapter of both of these and I wasn't sure what I wanted to read, so I was kind of choosing. I was kind of picking what I was in the mood for, because that's what mood reading is all about. I am really great at mood reading. Actually, no, I'm not, because sometimes I will pick up books that I'm not actually in the mood for, but I'm like, oh, this is what I want to read next, and then I just slog through it, and it's a pain, and that's what puts me in reading slumps. So I'm really trying not to do that this year at all, because, ooh, I am just like, I'm continuing this reading. I'm continuing it. I'm eating up my books. I'm nom 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 nom. You know? I'm gonna give a brief synopsis of both. This is a YA romance, light fantasy. Not light fantasy, but you know, little bit of fantasy, not super deep fantasy, about two rival journalists at the same paper who are going for the same position. Like, they're going for the same promotion and they are rivals, like I said, but they're also not. They're also attracted to each other. But they have magical typewriters and they're writing to each other, but they don't actually know it's each other. And their romance builds. You know, very fun. Very fun. There's a war going on. This, The Serpent and the Wings of Night, is an adult fantasy romance about vampires set in like a new like vampire world, like total fantasy, new world building. Vampires and humans live side by side, but also like the humans are like oppressed and all that. And the main character, Araya, is a human who was raised by vampires, and she joins a tournament to the death with vampires. Like, she's the only human. So that's what this boy's about. So you'll see what I was choosing between, and then you'll see me just start reading, and then we'll circle back. You'll see how it goes, because this is a good one. I had some good reading done in this video, but you'll see that. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Anyway. Update, I am halfway through Divine Rivals and I'm loving it. It is so good. I'm loving the characters, I'm loving the writing, and I'm loving the setting. I don't know if it's Saturday, by the way. I think the last time I updated, I think I introed this vlog on Wednesday, and I was really starting to like choose between Divine Rivals. We had a little bit of a, I won't call it a setback, we had a little bit of a something So I was choosing between Divine Rivals and The Serpents and the Wings of Night. I didn't end up reading any more of The Serpents and the Wings of Night, and my camera's about to die. Are you kidding me? I didn't end up reading any more to like test it out. I kind of just started reading this, and then I got in a contemporary romance mood. I grabbed a few contemporary romances from my library. I started reading Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher, and I'm 80 pages in, and I'm liking it, but then I like started reading it again on Friday or something. I was like, actually, I think I want to keep reading Divine Rivals. So I was 50 pages in last night, and I just got to page 175 this morning, and I'm gonna sit down and read some more. I'm really liking it. I just think the writing is like spectacular, and the characters and the setting and like the plot, like the events that are happening, is really great. I will give a better summary in a little bit. My camera's about to die, so I'm just gonna sit down and read right now, and I'll update you guys again. I have too much background noise going on right now, but okay, Felix. He's playing with my tripod. I'm gonna finish Divine Rivals tonight, I think. I'm pretty tired. I worked today. So we'll see. I have less than 100 pages left. I think I have about like 90 pages at this point. I'm loving it. If you couldn't tell by my reaction from earlier, but I'm loving it, and I just want to like sit down and really get into it, so I'm probably gonna keep this update a little short. But basically, like, I love the writing. I love the setting, like, so much. It's like very, I think a year was mentioned, so I think it's supposed to be like 1892 in this world, but it's not like, this isn't our world at all. Like, I mean, it has similarities to it, of course, but it's different. There are these gods and there's a war going on, and it's giving, what I think about it, it's giving like early 1900s vibes, definitely not like 1800s, like it's not Victorian kind of vibes. I think it feels very, I'm not very good with like time periods, but when I think about it, like, I think maybe like it's giving 1940s. I don't know. That's just kind of where my mind goes, because I don't really know that much about the 30s. 20s is like, you know, the roaring 20s, and it's not really giving those kind of vibes. And then earlier than that is like close to like kind of like Victorian-ish era, and it's not like the 50s. So I'm thinking that's kind of like the era. I don't really know what to like compare it to. Maybe it is also kind of 30s, because it feels very kind of Depression era-ish. I just really love the setting. I love the vibes. Like, the main characters, Iris and Roman, work at a newspaper called the Oath Gazette, I think? Yeah, the Oath Gazette, and they're both vying for the columnist promotion. And they're both writers, obviously. They're both like journalists. Yeah, they're both journalists. Oh, it literally says right there. When two young rival journalists find love through a magical connection, they must face the depths of hell in a war between gods to seal their fate forever. Yeah. So anyway, so basically my point is that the vibes are great. I really love let's talk about the characters. I really love Iris, and I also really love Roman, but I love Iris. I just appreciate the kind of character she is. She's very scrappy, and she's very determined, but she is insecure in a way that's not, like, it doesn't let her crumble, I guess. Like, she is scared and she feels her insecurity, but she also doesn't let that stop her, I think, is like what's important about that. And I love it. Like, she really like goes through, like, you feel a lot of her pain and a lot of her struggles, and the family dynamic is, or just like where her family is at the moment, is really difficult for her. Her brother is off in the war. He's been gone for 6 months at the beginning of the story, and she hasn't heard from him at all. And her mother's an alcoholic, and they don't have a lot of money. Oh, Iris has to drop out of school. This like setting is very interesting to have, this fantastical setting, and as well, like, the gods being such an important part is just very interesting. And like the mythology, the myths, the stories within this world, I find very interesting. And going into the book, I heard a lot of people saying that there isn't a lot of world building, and no, there isn't a lot of world building, but the world is so present, obviously, but it's so it dictates the story, and it does so much for the story, and I really, really, really love that. And then going back to the characters, I really enjoy, I love both of the characters, and I love their relationship. It's so, oh my god, it has me swooning. But at the beginning of the story, we got a lot of Iris's perspective. It's all third person, but it's third person close. And there was a point where I thought I was going to switch to Roman, and I didn't want it to, because I just was really loving being so close to Iris, especially, I don't know, I think I was also just like liking, what was I saying? No, I was liking seeing the relationship blossom from Iris's point of view, because she's so oblivious to it in the beginning. And I think at that point I didn't want Roman's perspective yet, and then we didn't, like, it stayed being like, it stayed with Iris. But then when it did switch to Roman, when it did switch to Roman, I was ready for it. Like, I was ready to read from his perspective, and I was ready to see what he feels about Iris. I'm gonna get back to reading because I spent a little too long talking. It is now Sunday night. I finished Divine Rivals this morning before work, and I'm exhausted. It's 10:30 p.m. and I kind of want to read, so I might do some reading, and then I'll get to that in a little. But I finished Divine Rival. I gave it 4 stars, which is not anything bad, obviously. 4 stars is so good, but I honestly genuinely thought this could have been a 5-star read. You guys, you saw my reactions. I was feeling this book like so much. I was loving the romance, and I still, like, I really enjoyed the romance. I loved the characters. I loved the setting. I think the setting was really cool, and like the war setting, the kind of time period that it's like inspired by, or like meant to kind of emulate, even though it's like this fantasy world and like not exactly, it's not our world, it's they're gods and these myths, but they're true, and there's a war. I said the war setting, but there's a war like with the gods, but it's very like our world but different. And obviously there's magical things, because there's the magical typewriter, and there are wyverns or wyverns or however you say it, and like these creatures. This blurb is so good. I cannot read. Oh, the author of Serpent and Dove. It's like, it's dark blue font on black back. Like, I don't know, if I turn on my light, like, will it be easier? Okay, yeah, that is a bit easier to read, but still not great. She said, rich and romantic. If stories had scent, this one would smell like a mug of black tea, the ink ribbons of a typewriter, and that addictive spice called enemies to lovers. Love that review. It's beautiful and like so real. This book would smell like a mug of black tea. Oh, it's making me, I want like a mug of black tea. I want something warm and cozy right now. And that's like what this book gives. It's very much like warm, cozy, while also at the same time very like heart-wrenching. I mean, you feel for these characters a lot and the stuff that they've been through, but the addictive spice called enemies to lovers, I would not call these two enemies to lovers. I know they're technically rivals to lovers, but it's rivals that are attracted to each other and just like don't think the other would ever be interested in them, which is fine. I enjoyed the romance, but like I've seen people say it's slow burn. This book is not slow burn, and basically the reason why this didn't end up being 5 stars for me is because the journey that the romance went on in the last third of the book just wasn't something I was expecting. Not that it was like unexpected. I mean, it was a little unexpected. Like, I didn't think we were gonna go there. That sounds so dramatic. I didn't expect what ended up happening towards the end of the book, and it's not something that I prefer in like the timeline of my romance relationships. Things moved quicker than I was expecting, and it fit with the story. It fit with like what's happening, but I also, as I continued on with the book, I also was like I know why there's a second book with the way that it ended, but I also was like, why is there why is this 2 books? I'm gonna read the second book. I'm really curious. I don't know that I have the highest hopes for it, because not that this was the only thing, but I mean, yeah, it was. Like, what was propelling me forward in the book was the relationship and seeing like how it would progress and seeing what would come of it, since in the letters that they're writing to each other, just like the mystery of the letters and like the unknown and like the falling for each other over letters, but like also falling for each other in person, but the disconnect, thinking there's a disconnect in the letters and the real life people, if that makes sense. That was really propelling me forward while reading this, and I think that kind of got a little lost in the last third. I thoroughly enjoyed this though. Those are my thoughts on Divine Rivals. I'm very happy that I decided to go with this book. I'm also in like a very big physical reading mood. Right now, I think I might read, even though it's almost 11. I worked all weekend, so I'm pretty tired. I'm deciding between continuing with Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. I mentioned that I started this, hopefully, but I did. I'm 80 pages in, 500-page romance. And the thing is, I don't know, like I think I could enjoy this, but I think in a romance you already know like within the first 50 pages if it's gonna be for you, because you're already feeling like the feelings you're gonna feel, or the beginnings of the feelings you're gonna feel for the couple, and I'm not getting those. I don't dislike them, and I don't dislike either character at all. Like, I like both characters, and I might pick it up just because it'll be easy, but I don't know. I'm kind of in a fantasy mood. So that might lead me to The Serpent and the Wings of Night. Basically, I can't really give much of an explanation for The Serpent and the Wings of Night yet. I just know that it's about vampires and some kind of tournament competition game thing, and the main character's a human, but she's resides within like the vampire society. But anyway, I'm in a fantasy mood. I think I can't tell right now. I can't tell if I want to continue and see, just like read something kind of easy and chill, or if I want to dive into fantasy. I'm in a bit of a fantasy mood because of Divine Rivals, because of like the hint, like the little inkling of fantasy that we got from it. It just made me want to dive into like a new world. I will let you know what I decide, and maybe you'll see me read tonight. I'm 62 pages into The Serpent and the Wings of Night, and I'm really enjoying it. So it's pretty fast-paced. We're getting into the games already, and it's just very interesting because they're vampires and there's this like game tournament thing. So basically there's this tournament called the Kajari, and it happens every 100 years with the vampires, and Araya, the main character, she's a human and she's been raised by a vampire named Vincent, and she goes into the tournament. So it just started, and the writing is really like, it's very like, it really puts you in the setting, like you feel like you're in it. I don't know, I'm enjoying the writing. I think Carissa Broadbent is doing a really good job of kind of like introducing or getting me as the reader very situated in what's happening and feel like I'm not lost or confused. Like, I know what's happening, it's very straightforward, but in an engaging way. And I feel like her voice is just very strong. And it is first person, so Araya, the main character, you get like a good sense of her, I guess. Basically, anyway, that's like my little introduction, not my introduction, my little like first update of the book and like what I'm feeling. I'm probably gonna try not to update until I get farther into the book, but I am going to get ready. My mom and I are gonna run some errands together. We're gonna go to like Target and stuff, and maybe I'll look in the book section, see what's there. I'm not gonna buy anything. I asked if we could go to Barnes and Noble too, so we'll go later. And potentially maybe, I mean, I'm gonna ask if we could like sit and chill at Barnes and Noble, so that maybe I could grab a physical copy of Serpent and the Wings of Night, like to just read while I'm sitting in Barnes and Noble. But I'm gonna go get ready and then I'll check back with you later. That's not the voice I wanted to do. What did she say? I'm sorry, I have the "she's the man" quote. Catch up with you later. Catch up? Did she say catch up with you later? I just hear her. Sorry, She's the Man is like one of my favorite movies.
Alright guys, catch up with you later.
Okay guys, so it's a bit later. Last you saw, I was in Barnes & Noble reading The Serpent and the Wings of Night, which I mentioned doing. I ran some errands with my mom and then went to Barnes & Noble on my own because she had to get back home to do some stuff. But I just wanted to go to like hold the book and to like just, you know, read a bit, get into it, see, just like read it physically, because I said I've been in like a physical reading mood. Like, I've only really cared about reading if I'm holding the book. But I'm kind of now fine with continuing to read on my Kindle because, one, I'm deeper into the story. I'm now 105 pages in. I'm on like chapter 13. I'm like 22% into the book, which is really exciting. I hate the traditionally published edition of The Serpent and the Wings of Night. It's like a short kind of paperback. I didn't really show it, so sorry about that, but you know, there were people around. It's like a short paperback. Something about like the text and the way it was formatted, it just like kind of made my head hurt to read. So I'm totally fine with reading it on my Kindle now. Things are picking up a lot. We're like in the tournament. We're introduced to who I'm assuming is going to be her love interest. He's a vampire. He is obviously, it's like enemies to lover, but they showed this in the back of the physical copy, so I don't know that this is like a spoiler, but basically they're gonna like ally together. They're gonna be allies. They're gonna team up in the tournament for like the trials. I'm enjoying it. I think the descriptions of the action and the violence are pretty good, but I also just I like the main character, Araya. I like reading from her perspective, and I like the world. I think it's just like a really interesting world. I don't know. I think it's cool. I like the vampires. I like the like vampire lore. I don't know that I'm 100% grasping the different types of vampires, or I don't think I fully like remember like which is which and which means what. There are like two kinds and I don't even remember the names of them. Or there's one, the Hyaj. I don't know if that's how you say it. H-I-A-J. And then the Rishan. Something like that. R-I-S-H-A-N, I think. I think that's what it was, but I think those are the two types of vampires. I could be entirely wrong, which is not a great thing to say when I'm 100 pages into a book. I really want to see where it goes. Again, I do really love the dynamic of the main character being a human in this tournament with like all vampires, because she is entirely vulnerable to like everything. So if she gets injured and she's bleeding, her blood will attract them. And I think that's really interesting. I like the relationship between her and her father, who is like not her biological father. I think I have said that, but he's a vampire. He like found her when she was a kid and she has no idea who her like blood family is. But I like the like dynamic between them. One thing I find kind of hilarious is the main character's name is Araya. Araya, I think, like that's how you say it. I don't even know if I said it any differently the second time I said it. I think the love interest name is pronounced Rain. There are kind of like a few extra letters in there. And then there's some other names I don't remember. It's hard to remember them because they're not like, they're fantasy names. But then her father's name is Vincent. And he's a vampire. It's like she's a human and then everyone else is a vampire and they all have different unique names. And then he is a vampire and his name's Vincent. I don't know, just an interesting thing I noticed. I'm gonna keep reading probably just a little bit later. I've been kind of like settling in at home, trying to clean up a bit, but I also have some stuff I have to do for school and I'm working tomorrow, so I'll also hang out with people later tonight. So we'll see how much reading I get done. I don't want to put like a page number because then if I don't get to it. I don't want to be held to it, but I do want to read more because I'm interested to see like what's gonna happen. But I have like a little bit of a headache, so I'm just gonna kind of neaten up, clean up a bit, get in my space, sit down and get some stuff done. But that's my update so far. Yeah, I'm not putting on makeup because I need to do work today, like schoolwork. I have assignments I have to do, so I'm going to Barnes & Noble to do work because I need to get out of my house, because if I just sit here I'm not going to do work. I just feel it today, even though I need to do laundry, but I'll do it later. I don't have class until 7 p.m. tonight, so I have like all the time in the world. Not really. It's 10:30 right now. I just wanted to update really quickly about The Serpent and the Wings of Night because I've been reading. It's Wednesday. I updated at all yesterday. I read majority of the book yesterday. Majority? Okay, I won't say majority because I did get a lot read this morning. I don't remember when I last updated. I think it might have been Monday night. It might have been Monday night. I don't know, but I read a lot yesterday morning, and then I read a little bit yesterday night before bed, and then I read a bit this morning. So last I updated was Monday after I got 100 pages in when I read at Barnes & Noble, and then I think I got a little bit past that Monday night. But yesterday morning I read a lot. I read like 200, relax. I read like 130 pages. I don't know, I read to page 250 after being like a little bit past 100 pages Monday night. And then I got to... Did I get to page 300 last night? I think I might have gotten to page like 315 last night, and now I'm on page 404. I'm on chapter... I'm gonna cover it because this is a smut scene. I'm on chapter 40? 45? Yeah, I'm on chapter 45, so I'm 83% of the way through. I 100% plan on finishing this today. I was gonna say tonight, but just today. I have class like all tonight, so I could finish after class because I stay up a little bit later than when my class ends. But my update is that it's a good book. Like, I wouldn't say it's a bad book. I understand why people like it, but it just gives me Crescent City, Sarah J. Maas romantasy vibes, which that is what it is, but it's like the classic, like, popular, ow, frick my hand. Classic popular romantasy things now, and they're just like not the things that I love. I really want to find a romantasy that speaks to me, because I've read contemporary romances, obviously, that I adore. Beach Read, Happy Place, Love Theoretically, I just read that, obviously. And freaking Take a Hint, Danny Brown. Love, 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 love those. I think there might be others. Those are probably my favorites. I don't know that I have any others that I really love. I've read like a few others, but those are like my faves. They're so, so good. Like, they just speak to me, you know? There's something about them that speaks to me. And there are other books that like speak to me, but I've read like YA fantasy, which has like romance, like The Infernal Devices. I love that trilogy, and the romance especially is like really important to me. Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe is my favorite book of all time, but that's also like, I mean, it's not fantasy. I don't really know why I mentioned it, but that book speaks to me in a way that like literally no other book will ever speak to me ever again, ever. Let me not say that. I would love to find another book to speak to me like that book, but I love that book. I love like Once Upon a Broken Heart. I love that trilogy. I love the romance in it. Basically, I just want to find a romantasy that like speaks to me, and that would have to be characters that I relate to. And also would have to have a heroine, not heroine, the other one, a hero that I love. And all of the heroes, all of the male heroes, all the love interests in romantasy are like 6'5", buffest man you've literally ever seen in your life. A lot of the time they have like shoulder length hair for some reason. I'm not like super into that. I want a Gus Everett, but in fantasy. Like, not quite like that, but I just, I think the thing that's hard about romantasy is that it's also fantasy, so we need world building, and we need, like, the high stakes and the intense, like, craziness that the romance takes. It doesn't take a backseat because it is important, but it's important in a way without as much build-up that I need in a romance. Like, I need the tension. I need that. Also, I meant to mention Six of Crows. Like, I love that duology as well. I don't know, maybe I should read Half a Soul. I already think I know what my rating is. I'm not disliking it. I'm enjoying it. I think the writing's good. I think the characters are also good. Like, I actually like the characters. But it's just not... It's just, like, this isn't what I look for in a romance. Like, this isn't the... I don't need the freaking, like, unbelievably buffly huge. Like, his arms are the size of 3 of her heads, and like I don't know, it's just like it's just like a lot. They just, romantasy books all have like the same vibe, and it's a vibe that I don't look for and I don't want. It's not the type of person that I am. I don't know if that's too like generalize-y, but it's hard. And I was looking at romances to maybe read after this because I can't tell if I'm still in a romance mood or not. And I just don't, like, I don't know. I don't know if that's what I want. Like, I found the contemporary and 2 more contemporary romances that I literally adore and love with my whole entire heart. And I'm just gonna be searching for that, and I'm not gonna get it. So I think I need to pivot, but also I don't know where I want to pivot. I'm picking up Bride by Allie Hazelwood from the library. I think I should. It should be ready today. It came out yesterday. I am potentially gonna read Bride next, but then that's another romantasy, but maybe Allie Hazelwood will give me a romantasy that I want. Maybe she will give me a romantasy that'll work for me. I don't know, but that's 2 vampire books in a row, which is fine with me. I don't know, I think I might pick that up next. I'm gonna go to Barnes & Noble and I'm gonna pick up a few books to like look at and consider. I kind of like made a list on my phone of books I could pick up from the library. Do they all have romance? No. Almost yes. I could tell you my list. The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. Maybe. My friend has read some Mariana Zapata and she actually really enjoyed them. So that's why I'm like, maybe I could read those because they're like long. They're meant to be really slow burn. So I feel like I could like that. But I tried reading From Lukov with Love once and I got halfway through and I just like wasn't that into it. But I would try again. That's like a maybe. I don't know. Because I don't know if I want contemporary romance right now. Another option is A Curious Beginning by Deanna Raybourn. I know that's like a long like mystery series, like historical mystery series with a romance at the center of it, which could be good because it's like a romance over like multiple books, so that's like slow burn. And then I put One Dark Window by, I don't know her name, something Gillig. See, and then I have Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. Total diversion. Anyway, that's fine, but that's also because I'm like, maybe I just need to like, you know, swerve out of where I am right now, which I'm in a good place. Like, I'm reading a lot and I'm enjoying reading, but maybe now that I'm like, I don't really know what I want, maybe I could just swerve into a totally different direction. I've only read Babel by R.F. Kuang. I didn't finish it. It's because it was at a time when I was trying to get back into reading, and I really, like, I was almost done with the book. I was maybe 80% into the book, and it just wasn't inspiring me to keep reading, and I was having some issues with the story. It's a lot of what a lot of people have said, where it just felt like it was emphasizing the same points over and over again, where I didn't feel like it needed to be repeated. Like, I understood the message, and I was really loving the writing. This isn't a video about Babel. Anyway, I'm very curious about Yellowface. I wasn't really that interested in reading it at first just because I wasn't that into Babel. I think I would maybe revisit Babel though. I don't know. So that could be like a total different, you know? I'm 40 minutes late to Barnes & Noble because I wanted to go at 10 when they open, but then I had to get ready. And then the last option is Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong. So those are my options. This clip is way longer than I was intending for it to be, but I will get back to you later when I finish The Serpent and the Wings of Night, and then pick my next read, or like figure out what I'm gonna be choosing between, and then I'll let you know what my next read is. And then I'm hoping to wrap this video up soon because I feel like it's been going on for a little long. Goodbye. Oh my god, my camera's dying. This lighting is really bad, actually. I finished The Serpent and the Wings of Night just this morning. Is it even 8 a.m.? It's 8:07 a.m. Thursday, February 8th, and I finished The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I'm giving it 3 stars. I think 3 stars. Either like 2.75, 3 stars. I don't know. I'm good on 3 stars because I was really enjoying it in the beginning, and I was really enjoying it in like kind of a still less than 4-star way, but I was considering giving it like 3.75, like somewhere there, but I think it's 3 stars. I started to like kind of lose a lot of interest towards the end after maybe the 60-70% mark, and then it started to fall off even more at like the 80% mark. I just like knew the relationship wasn't 100% for me, like I mentioned in like my last clip, and it's like I don't dislike either of the characters. I just like the build up, the tension wasn't what works for me, and that's fine, but it's just like this, it's just very romantasy, and it's just like not, those aren't the things I look for in a romance. I didn't like the kind of twist at the end, or the way it ended. Like, if you've read the book, you know I'm obviously not gonna spoil it, but like I didn't really like how it ended, how the tournament ended, and I also didn't really like how the book ended because I just didn't care enough for that to matter. I think if I cared enough, then I would obviously be like propelled to read the second book, but I don't even think I'm going to. Like, I don't think I have enough interest to read the second book. So far in this vlog, I've read 2 books, Divine Rivals and The Serpent and the Wings of Night. This was 4 stars, this was 3 stars. And I'm honestly kind of in a place where I'm like, I don't know what I want to read next. I was very set on reading Bride. It's still not available from the library. It came out 2 days ago and it was in transit to my library, but it'll probably get to my library today. So like, that's definitely still an option. But I went to the library yesterday. I didn't show you that. I don't even know if I showed you what books I got. Did I? I think I must have. I don't think I did. I think I told you what stuff I was considering. I didn't tell you what books I got from the library, but I'm also considering 4 books that I own. So this kind of stack is like what I'm choosing between. I think to end this vlog, I'm going to choose my next read, get into it, and like really decide on what I'm reading next, and then I'm gonna finish it. Like, I'm not gonna continue until I finish the book. Hey, I have an update. Felix, relax, please. Please, I'm filming. It's Monday. Last I updated was Thursday? Hey, that last clip where I was talking about all them books, it's been days. I'm almost done editing this vlog. It's past its point. It's past this point. Like, it's been going too long, but I have an update, and then this is the end of the vlog. I got Bride from the library, and I read all of it. I ended up picking it up. So I went on a rant about all of those, and I didn't read any of them, but that's okay, because I read Bride, and I freaking loved it. Ali Hazelwood came through, my guys. And the thing about this book is I thought it was a fantasy romance, which I'm not. It is. It isn't. Like, it is, but it isn't. It's not a fantasy. Like, it's not romantasy. It's not fantasy. It's paranormal. It's a paranormal romance. It's set in our world still, just like alternate. Like, vampires and werewolves exist in our world, and we have, like, I was gonna say alliances, but not alliances. We have deals with them. So I will give you a brief synopsis, let you know my rating, and then also just like, I picked it up and then couldn't stop reading it. So this is about Misery Lark, this girl on the cover. She's a vampire, and she's been used as a collateral for like her whole life. When she was a kid, she was used as a collateral to live in like the human society, so that if vampires attacked humans, the humans would kill her. So that was her childhood. Really fun. And now in her adulthood, she lives with the humans, like after she's come back after the collateral thing. She decided to live with the humans in her adulthood, get a job, like pass as a human, stuff like that. But something comes up where she needs to be used again, and they are trying to marry her off to a werewolf. And she agrees for reasons that you'll just find out. Like, I'm not gonna give it to you. Basically, she has to marry a werewolf. So she marries this werewolf. His name is Lo Moreland. And of course, romance ensues. I loved it. It was really, really good. I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads because I don't think it was like 100% 5 stars. I kind of could have thought it was like leaning that way. Like, I was giggling. I was giddy reading this. But then I was a little less giddy getting farther into it, which is fine. I still loved it. I'm probably gonna end up buying it. This is from the library, like I said. But I don't know. I'm like 4.25, something like that. I loved it. I picked it up. I think I picked it up from the library on, oh no, the last time I updated was Thursday. I ended up picking this up from the library that day after my class. I don't think I started it that night. I think I read like 10 pages. I read like 10 pages that night, and then Friday I picked it up that night and got really into it. And then I finished it yesterday morning. I read a lot of it on Saturday as well, but I finished it yesterday, Sunday morning. So I sped past this. I worked all weekend. I would have finished it on Saturday if that wasn't the case, but I loved it. It was so good. Ali Hazelwood, she knows what she's doing, and I think there's gonna be another installment in this world, in this series. I think there's gonna be a companion novel. which I'm excited about because I think this was really great, but I'm excited to see her kind of, you know, hone her skill with the paranormal romance. I'm loving this, like, this genre, this setting for her. I think it's very fun, and I will buy my own copy probably sometime soon. I got the hardcover from the library, which is interesting because it's like only really sold in paperback, but I saw that you can get the hardcover at Amazon. Don't think I need the hardcover. But that is it for this video. I completed 3 books. Oh, that's upside down. I completed 3 books in this vlog. This has been like a week and a half. Almost 2 weeks. Almost 2 weeks. I know. But I completed 3 books. I completed Divine Rivals, 4 stars. Serpent on the Wings of Night, 3 stars. Bride, 4.25. 4.25. I'll say 4.25. So yes, that was me mood reading. As you can see, I jump around a lot, but honestly, I stuck to... Okay, can you shut up? This was mood reading, but also I low-key stuck to a TBR. So, because these are kind of books I was expecting to read next. Sorry for duping you. No, I didn't dupe you. I didn't dupe you because I was mood reading. I wasn't sure what I was in the mood for, and then I ended up being in the mood for this. And I tried reading a contemporary romance, and that didn't work, you know? I picked up what I was feeling, what I was vibing with. So thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm getting started on that next video. Getting started on that next Pookie. Gonna be reading some more. Not these, because I read them already. Maybe something, I'm not reading something on my Kindle. I don't know why I'm not in a Kindle reading mood. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know like how your mood reading goes, because that, I really was considering some of those books over there. And my next read is going to be one of those. But you'll see it in the next video, because the next video I'm doing, I'm picking up right there. So, thank you for watching. Goodbye.